Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, let me ask you this question. Have you ever been sitting at a red light, right? Have you ever had a long ass fucking day, right? Maybe you're pissed off, right? Your shoulders are tight, your mind's racing, and then you're just fucking you're off, bro. That day is just whack, and you're sitting at a fucking red light, and then some dude just rolls up, beeps, and tells you, yo, put down the window, and you put on your window, and you're like, yo, with an attitude, and you're like, what the fuck, And then he goes, yo, badass truck, dude. And just like that, your whole day flips around, bro. Literally. And that's fucking car guys therapy. That's the unspoken bond of the brotherhood that we all fucking share, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because literally it happened to me the other day again, right? It's happened to me multiple times, and I always it's just how we are. Human nature, we forget and we get tense. We got a lot of things going on, and you're like, oh, you're thinking about this and that, and then someone rolls up, and you're on this fucking negative, just thought pattern, I should say, and then you're like, yo, what the fuck? And then they end up complimenting you, and then you're like, yo, damn. And all of a sudden, it just your day gets fucking better, right? It changes your mood for the complete rest of the fucking day, right? And so this episode, right, is more than just cars, my friend. This episode is about the energy, it's about the connection, and it's about real ass moments between two fucking gearheads, when we can pull up to each other, right, and we could pull a man out of a rut, right, and throw him back into his fucking power, right? And so if you've ever smiled because you noticed that someone's ride was fucking bad as fuck, and let them know, yo, that's a fucking right sweet ride, and this one's for you, bro. This one's for you because you have to have experienced this shit to know what I'm talking about, right? And if you're a true car guy, if you're into it, right, and you go through it, it literally gives you this nice of man, I built this shit, right? I'm so glad I'm driving this shit, right? Because a lot of times you're like, I want this, I want something else, and then all it takes is someone to reframe your perspective and change your mood, right? And so the bond of brotherhood, right? This is when I'm talking about here is when someone compliments your ride. And it's funny because it's some dude or some guy, or what's usually that's how it's happened to me, and that you don't even know, and you're like, oh, you get caught in the wrong, and just you're not expecting that, I should say, right? And it just hits different because it's another, you're like, oh, there's another car guy right here, bro. And so it's not just a compliment, it's that someone sees you, right? And and stops you, and and it makes you pause, and you're like, okay, and it reframes your thought pattern, right? You see, men don't get genuine compliments, right? Typically, us men, we don't get no genuine compliments. We don't go around, hey, you look good today, right? No, bro. Typically, women get compliments, right? And so, since we men don't get compliments, especially from other dudes, when fucking one hits, right, it hits deep, right? And especially when it hits about your ride, because you're like, yo, this is another car guy right here. So for us fucking car guys, right, the ride, what we're driving, typically, it's our identity on wheels, all right? And so right now, my turbo Silverado has been my daily driver for a couple of years already, and I'm looking to kind of get something else, something more economical, something that it could be a little beater, right? But when I'm driving my Silverado is all I got right now, and so my only running car, I should say, right? It's literally my identity on wheels. I'm always stepping on this and that, and so we'll pull up to a light, and someone yo, that's fucking shit, and it fucking reminds me that this shit was built, not bought, right? And so it when someone notices the potential, someone notices what you build, what you put your heart, effort, soul, and passion into, right? It hits personal, right? And it fucking shifts your mood around. And so when you're able to do that for someone else as well, if that's how you feel when someone does it to you, then why not reciprocate that? And if you see some fucking badass right out there, you'll be like, yo, beep, beep, yo, that shit is raw, right? Be that guy, right? You see that rundown, excuse me, that random beep at the light, right? That nod at the gas station that you could go, yo, what's under the hood? Right? When it comes from a stranger and then it relates, and you're like, oh, this is another car guy right here, right? It literally can take a man from stressed to fucking smiling in seconds, right? Because like, yeah, you temporarily forget about everything that's going on. Oh, let's fucking talk about cars for a second, right? And so, in a world where men are constantly grinding, in a world where men like us, we're fucking like often we're unrecognized, right? Like we're because we're grinding so much and we're just head down, fucking focus, getting the work done, right? Like these micro moments become gold, right? And it's not about the ego, right? It's about the connection. It's about the connection because you're driving something that you like. You're a car guy, and you're like, yeah, they're like, and so when someone else fucking puts you in a fucking better mood because of it, you're like, yo, knew I should have been driving this shit. And so the power of a one sentence uplift, my friend, is like it's powerful. And what I'm encouraging you with this episode and why I'm sharing this story of what happened and relived it and the thought process that I went through in my mind is because I want you to be the guy who gives it. You know, I'm trying to be the guy who gives it. Like when and I typically am, right? And I always, yo, that shit's fucking raw. Yo, I don't care what it is, right? I always give that heads up. And I guess it reciprocates back, right? And so you might think that you're just like talking about a paint job, like for example, or you're thinking, oh, you just might complimenting his wheels or whatever. But you're really doing is you're like handing out hope, right? Like in some real way, because maybe that dude is having a rough day. Maybe that you never know, bro. Maybe like that guy could be having the fucking worst day of his life. Like maybe he's going through a divorce. Maybe he lost his job. Maybe he's overwhelmed. Maybe he's full of doubt. Maybe he's like fucking struggling at work. I don't know. We don't know. We're all going through some shit that we don't talk about. And so maybe that day you caught this guy and you're like, yo, you shifted his mood, you shifted his perspective, and you made his fucking day better, all because we connected in the way that we like to through the motorsport, right? And so that one sentence, yo, sick build, brother, or yo, sick truck, or yo, I love those wheels, or yo, rev that shit up, or yo, what the fuck what you got under the hood, bro? That shit sounds mean as fuck. That will change your day. That will make you feel better. And if it's happened to you, then you know what I'm talking about. And let's fucking hand it out there to more dudes because they fucking need it just like we do, right? Be the fucking guy who does good shit out there and fucking makes the positive change for the community, right? Like, bro, if you're mentally low, if you're stuck in your own head, right? Like, you would know that one small interaction can literally flip the vibe in its entirety, right? I was literally just lived this, right? I literally just was having a shitty ass day, right? I was mentally low, I was mentally low frequency, and some random dude pulled up, and I actually ended up giving him my number because he was like, "Oh, I'm looking for someone to tune it or whatever," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yo, get my number, I can help you out with that." It just completely shifted the perspective, right? All because we accepted the energy, accepted the good vibe. And so that guy, drew off and hopefully hits me up. I can definitely help him out with his tune, right? And so what I'm trying to get at here with this shit is that we don't need therapists, right, to lift people up. Sometimes all it takes is just being present. Sometimes all it takes is being respectful. Sometimes all it takes is just being fucking generous with your words, right? And just because it's another dude, don't mean you don't give him a compliment. Be like, yo, that shit is raw, because you never know. Maybe that dude busted his fucking ass to drive that shit, right? And to maybe that he's been fucking throwing so much money, and now he's like, yo, I don't know if I really did the right move and whatever. And maybe with that shit, you made his fucking day, right? And so build the culture that you want to be part of, right? That is the message. That is what we're talking here about, right? If you want the world to feel more brotherly, then start acting like a fucking brother, right? This is how cultural is built, right? By consistently doing the little things that stack up into like a lifestyle, bro. And so if you drive something nice and someone hits you up with the compliment, yo, hit it back and reciprocate, right? You see, giving respect, like let's normalize that shit, right? Like, and when you see it, call out the fucking greatness, right? Like, bro, I know that when someone holds the door for me, I'm always like, yo, thank you, I appreciate that, man. You don't have to do that. I hope you have a great day, right? You see, like that, if we do that out there, we do more of it, no, then fucking us car guys are going to be taking over the game, right? Because everybody, like, yo, I didn't expect that from that dude. And then you take off and you fucking bust his ass up on the on the road, right? And so whether it's a fucking souped up Raptor, whether it's some vintage Chevelle, whether it's a rusted project car, whether it's a brand new Beamer, whether it's a fucking a turbo Camaro or a turbo Serato, whatever the fuck it is, right? If it's dope, then fucking say it, right? If you're vibing with the other ride that you see, then fucking be like, yo, that shit is raw as fuck, right? Help that dude have a better day, right? So when you see something that you fucking like, hit on the beat, give him the thumbs up, right? Be the fucking guy. You see, we need more men who walk this earth like with the walk, not with just with the talk, right? You see, when you see something that fucking, I'm repeating this shit because I wanted it to stay ingrained and I want this shit to be out there and more positive energy and more rides, because when you start feeling that energy, when you start having a good day, and more people start driving their fucking good cars, the ones that they like, the ones that they're for the weekend on their daily, and you fucking get to work in a better mood and you get to fucking kill the day. You're more productive, you're shining more, all because you were in a better mood, right? Because you're focused on winning, right? Not on spinning, right? See, when car guys understand what I'm talking about here, and if you're a car guy and you understand the grind, right? So let's respect each other's ride, right? And not only the ride, let's respect the road that we're all on, right? And when I say that, respect it, right? Like, don't be a douche, right? Like, if someone's trying to cut into you, like, yo, it's all right, go, go. I actually experienced it the other day. Some lady, I was trying to get in, the lady didn't want to get me in, didn't want to get me in, didn't want to get in, and I was getting all flustered about it, and I was like, then I just backed off, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, go, have a good day. And then I got to realize that I was like, yo, that shit almost caught me up, right? And actually, what had broke my pattern when I saw it, was that I saw a nice ride, right? And I was like, oh shit, right? I was like, damn, that shit is nice. And then it caught me pattern switch, right? And so my question for you today is, yo, who could you gas up today? Who could you tell them like, oh, yo, that's a badass ride? Oh, like, who can you lift up, right? Who, even if it's just a little bit, right? Like, who can you make their day? Who can you help them change their perspective? Who can you help today to be like, yeah, I'm glad I drive this shit, right? And so next time, my challenge for you, right, is, so next time you see a ride that catches your eye, right, don't just admire it silently. Say something. Beep. Give him the thumbs up. Give him the compliment. Like, build that man up that he's driving the machine, a powerful machine, a nice machine, right? Be the spark that turns his whole day around, dog. Like, that is my challenge, right? And because in a world full of noise, right, we need to be the engine that roars with encouragement, right? And that's not on some corny shit. That's on some real fucking brotherhood car guy type of shit, bro. Like, car guys build more than cars. We build each other up. And it's time to level the fuck up. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back. And let's become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others is the mission that God has tasked us with. If you haven't subscribed yet, my brother, man, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you vibe with today's message and you want to help contribute to the growth of this mission, then man, do me a fucking solid and send this to one of your homies. Send this to another motorsport enthusiast. Send this to another gearhead. Send this to another motorhead. Send this to another man who needs to fucking support one another. Because right there, that's how we make this movement grow. Catch up with you on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.